leaders of next tomorrow. The people who rule yesterday, now them they rule today. The people who rule yesterday, they won't rule tomorrow. Next tomorrow, the youths now next tomorrow. Leaders of next tomorrow, the youths are the leaders of next tomorrow. The people who rule yesterday, now them they rule today. The people who rule yesterday, they won't rule tomorrow. Next tomorrow, the youths now next tomorrow.
Chai, do you know why I'm laughing? It is very, very funny. Very, very funny. But you and I know it is a white lie. White lie, especially in Nigeria. The leaders of tomorrow are the youths. A very popular saying, the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But when is that tomorrow? My small son asked me, Daddy, is today that tomorrow you were talking about yesterday? Tomorrow seems so close, yet so far and never comes to an end. Tomorrow creeps like snail to the end of the year, until the young grows old and dies. The politicians blow it like a trumpet that the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. For where? For mouth. Because they will sit tight on that seat of leadership until their children outgrow their youth. Oh yes, because I came into this world and I saw them on that seat as leaders. Even while in primary school and even in my secondary school, they were still there as leaders. In my last year in the university, they were still there, crouching on their seats as leaders with their older colleagues following next to them. Where then is the tomorrow when the youth will be the future leader? Have you ever seen a successful leader who has no succeeding disciple? How then will the youth become a leader tomorrow when he has no mentor in leadership? Oh, youths of Nigeria, wake up from your slumber, shine your eyes and see the handwriting on the wall. For how long will the old politicians continue to deceive us, calling us leaders of tomorrow without letting us see the tomorrow as youths? We don't need a Jeremiah to tell us that these old people have no plans to give us the chance to be leaders. Or who knows, maybe the youth may be waiting to be like Ezekiel's dry bones before rising to the realities on ground. But why don't you ask yourself this question, jokes apart? When and how will the tomorrow come? I mean the tomorrow we are waiting for. Maybe after later. I mean when they must have dropped their khaki and their gun, only to wear agbada or suit to pick up broom or umbrella, sweeping the rubbish things they accumulated under the carpets just for us to choke off tomorrow. Don't you know that when a visitor comes to your house carrying a blanket and pillow, obviously he has no plans to leave that house that same day? Oh yes? When are you expecting the tomorrow to come? When are you expecting the tomorrow to come? Is it when their over-dyed hair that has turned to overall white has receded to the back head? Who is sure? Nobody is sure. Because tomorrow they may change their minds, drop this broom at a point and pick up a club to break into our tomorrow. Oh yes? Come on, Nigerian youths, rise and shine. The truth is that there is no other tomorrow for you than now. Tomorrow is just a time frame. It has no end. Let's go all out and search for honest old people who really want to see the youths as leaders of tomorrow. Not be formal, yes, the old who understand that a nation without youth is destined for extinction. Yes, shine your eyes, Nigerian youths. The leaders we are looking for are easy to find. They are those leaders who choose the young ones to understudy them and follow their ways. Those elders who, like my grandfather, would always go to the village meetings with me while I was only 7, carrying his stool. That leader who does not have any young disciple carrying his bag and marking his footsteps. Surely he hates the youths and he has no tomorrow. Sure, Nigerian youths, oh yay! Come, let us show him the way out. We cannot afford to leave him there till tomorrow. Today is that tomorrow that we've been talking about since yesterday. We must grab the tomorrow today so that the tomorrow will stop being a mirage for the youths. The ball is in our court. Oh, Nigerian youths, what else are we waiting for?
How long? Oh, which time? Oh, which day? Conductor go be driver. Oh, how long? Oh, which time? Oh, which day? How are you to go be leader?
No, tell me, how can Nigerian youths become leaders of tomorrow when even in the Nollywood, where actors and actresses are expected to earn a living with their God-given talent, they are instead fraudulently forced to pay the producer who is using their talents to make his profit? Oh my God. Whereas in other countries of the world, media houses pay royalties to music artists for using their works for broadcast, and television houses pay producers for using their movies and films for broadcast. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. The reverse is the case. Now we they pay them. How can the struggling Nigerian youth survive this wicked world with his God-given talent, or become a film producer tomorrow when he or she is so terribly exploited? Okay, have you ever stopped to ask yourself why the Nigerian male national football teams find it very difficult to have formidable teams during international competitions? In spite of the large number of successful players we parade in Europe, Asia and America. But the question is, how can the talented player who cannot afford to buy the coach come to stardom or to international pitch when Papa Coach is not even ready to listen or to sign him because he cannot pay the demand? Where then lies the tomorrow of the talented Nigerian youths in the scheme of things? What a pity. What a sorry situation for Nigerian youths. Oh, where will your salvation come from, oh Nigerian youths? Of course, there's no tomorrow without today. Have you ever sat down to think of the today of the Nigerian youths? Where lies the hope of the Nigerian youth of today, whose life is beclouded with humiliation and suffering in every corner of the world? I was in Dubai and I visited the Dera market. It was a glorious sight, seeing the Nigerian graduate youths in the most humiliating business of tying loads and goods for visiting buyers. Okay, just visit the Hebrew area of Johannesburg or some of the streets in Cape Town, South Africa. Nigerian youths are all over the places, roaming about the streets hopelessly in search of jobs that can never be found. And in order to survive, you see them indulging in stealing, pickpocketing and banditry all over the major cities of Europe and America. Just look around. You will see the battered Nigerian youths, the much trumpeted leaders of tomorrow, doing all sorts of menial and humiliating jobs. Mortuary cleaners, prostitutes, pornographic artists, just to make ends meet. A close contact with them simply reveals they are graduates who have spent years at home here in Nigeria but completely unemployed. Chai! Alright, listen to radio or read your newspapers. You will hear how our leaders of tomorrow, the youths, are being killed like rats in Malaysia, Indonesia, Morocco and our neighboring countries here for treasonable and pardonable offenses. Oh yes, treasonable and pardonable offenses, all because of frustration. Our leaders here do not even have plans for the so-called leaders of tomorrow. Many youths now resort to selling their kidneys and other vital organs of the body to oversee hospitals just to make ends meet. Chai! Are those the Nigerian youths who are the leaders of tomorrow? Tell me, if God were to open your spiritual eyes to see that the hundreds of carcasses rotting away in the Sahara Desert are no others than the Nigerian youths who in the bid to beat penury and shame resolved to hanging their fate in the balance and trekking across the dry desert in scorching heat just to find a job that can earn them a living outside this country, you will undoubtedly seek to shut every mouth that calls Nigerian youths the leaders of tomorrow. Okay, excuse me, what plans have the politicians and leaders of today for the welfare of the Nigerian youths, at least to nurture them to take up their position as the leaders of tomorrow? None at all. None! Except remembering them every 4 years, every 4 years during elections, just to use them as thugs and hired assassins, ballot box snatchers and campaign hoodlums, then dump them immediately after the elections as highly disposable rubbish. Instead of planning the future for their leaders of tomorrow, the political leaders of yesterday still on seat today only plan how to remain on that seat until tomorrow. They make rules and policies that debar the youth from coming close to leadership positions. Oh yes, their plans have no strings to co-opt the youth into the scheme of things. But no, for what now? Rather they co-opt them into crime and immorality. Go to our universities. The old must die on seats are there, practicing and teaching the youth how to steal through sorting, and the forceful sales of handouts. They are there teaching and forcing the young girls, the mothers of tomorrow, into prostitution. And to protect their wicked plans, they form cultist groups for the young students. So right from the college, the acclaimed leader of tomorrow is thought to be a cultist, an armed robber, a gun runner, assassin, murderer, a rapist and a drug peddler, addict. Oh my God, never you forgive them. Can you imagine? This same old must lead forever who render these youths useless, making it impossible for them to become leaders of today or tomorrow, will still go and surround themselves with these criminal youths to perpetrate their continued hold to power and authority forever. And I ask, on which seat of power again will the youth sit to lead tomorrow, when on every power seat it is clearly written conspicuously, no vacancy here? Chai! Where then will the youth sit to claim his leadership tomorrow? The youths are left with no alternative than to foment trouble and to cause restiveness in any available space. They do it and they are still doing it in the economy space. They will soon begin to do it in the political space. Nigerian youths are beginning to understand that unless a young man behaves like a madman, his parents will not marry for him. Oh yes, they are beginning to understand that the old have no plans to give them a fulfilled life as youths and a happy old age tomorrow. Their psyche is being steered towards a new direction to claim their leadership of tomorrow. They are now beginning to see that the only language that this old must die on power understands is the language of the old shall die for the young to grow. Oh yes. That language has one vocabulary, only one vocabulary: restiveness. And once Nigerian youth learn that vocabulary now, but God forbid, the language is bound to change. Revolution. Have you not seen it sweeping through the North Africa, from Algeria to Morocco, Tunisia to Egypt, and currently destroying Syria and Iraq? Hey, a stitch in time saves 9. How long more will these old people sit in power in Nigeria before the tomorrow of the Nigerian youths arrive? There is only one person with the answer. He is the oldest, but he loves the youth. Jehovah Almighty is his name. He has been standing, watching us, the old and the youth. It is he who decides when the tomorrow of the youth will come. Oh yes! It is only God who knows the exact day and time, the month and the year it will come. But if you ask me, Uche Ogbuagu, I think it will come whenever the Nigerian youths realize that it is them who actually put the old sit-tight politicians on that seat. And it is them who will remove them. Oh yes, it will come when the Nigerian youths realize that it is them who form the ladder for the old politicians to climb up, and it is them who will remove the ladder for them to fall down. Certainly, it will come when the youths realize that unity is strength, and that when fragile broomsticks are tied in a bundle, it becomes impossible for the strongest man on earth to break a single stick in that bundle. Then and only then will God usher in that tomorrow of the Nigerian youths and actualize that dream of being the leaders of tomorrow. Otherwise, what I'm seeing on ground now, I don't see any tomorrow. Walai, tori Ọlọ́run má jí.
How long, which is